Jerome Powell and the Fed are getting out of the way and allowing the banks to get into crypto. We're also going to talk XRP ecosystem news along with price action. You see what's happening with SWE? We also got...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Yeah, you heard me correctly. The Fed walked back one of their big anti-crypto policies, allowing banks to get into crypto. And look at SWE deep green on the screen along with HBAR deep green on the screen. But before we get into the crypto prices and trying to beat Papa John's with subs, which, we're damn close, your comments come first. Hot, spicy, naughty, relevant. Maybe I'll share it where everyone at the beginning of the next video. It's Denise, says Klaus. Some of us older ladies like to eat sausage. Thought you should know. Well, thank you, Denise. And love the fact that you can share your preference. Love to ride one dropping support on the channel. Thank you much for the support. Says thanks. You're welcome. And thank you for the support. By the way, everyone, happy motherfucking Friday. Corbin Dallas, name the movie that character's from, says, I love the goalie sets. Let's beat Papa John's. Go get them. Oh yeah, we'll beat Papa John's. I just have to work super hard to earn your subs. Bitcoin's sitting at 94,446, ETH is 1770. I already talked about SWE and I already talked about HBAR, but let's talk about XRP at 218. BNB at 603, while XLM's at 28.3. DOT's at 425, while CASP is hanging out at 10.4. Let's look at that price chart of SWE. I've got the 1 month up on the screen. We're for about a few weeks here. We were kind of getting some sideways action. Yeah, we had a little dipperoni on there on the 7th of April, and then all of a sudden, boom, shakalaka. We go from 210 to all of a sudden 366. And the volume, absolute bonkersville. 4 billion in volume, up 53% in the last 24 hours. Now, I've heard some rumors out there about SWE in Pokemon. Y'all know I'm a big Pokemon fan. Yeah, I don't care if you make fun of me in the comments. Oh, a grown man that likes Pokemon. Shut the fuck up. That's so freaking lame. Either way, I've yet to confirm if those rumors are true or not. But as soon as I find out, I'll share it with you. So hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Crypto herpes, everyone. Oh, yeah, you think it's gone? No. And then at the most inopportune time, it comes back. Ex-Celsius CEO Alex the Herp Mashinsky faces sentencing in May as 200 plus victims seek justice. And oh, the sweet justice it is. On the 23rd of April, U.S. prosecutors submitted a 418-page report. The document compiled by the prosecution's office contained over 200 victim impact statements. These statements came from people all across the globe. Australia, New York. It's all people that got screwed by Mashinsky and Celsius. Some say they lost their life savings while others saw their ambitions and dreams fade because Mashinsky was a liar, pants on fire. The article didn't say that. I said that. A victim named Brandon Lawrence, who lost 1.5 Bitcoin worth 140,000, said, the very essence of cryptocurrency, along with my ambitions, has been tarnished. Said, I'm saddened with the mountain of debt and disgrace. The prospects I once envisioned are now unattainable due to Alex Mashinsky and his ill-timed bankruptcy filing. Okay, it's a bunch of statements from people. Essentially what happened was Mashinsky was a bad man, okay? Celsius was a bad company. And check this out, okay? This is for me. Look, I've been covering Mashinsky, Celsius, ever since they went bankrupt. Look at this, girlfriend. See, I told you I've been covering it since 2022. Essentially what happened was the board of Celsius was like, yo, Alex, you shouldn't be doing this. This is unsustainable. And Mashinsky was like, no, let's give him higher yield. They're like, dude, you're already giving like 20%. He's like, go F off. I want to give people 40% yield. Yeah, that's how crazy it got. So basically what happened, it was unsustainable, ended up being a Ponzi scheme. They went bankrupt. Long story short, here we are 3 freaking years later, still trying to make things right. And I told people out there when this story broke, when the Celsius, the FTX, the 3 arrows, all that other stuff happened, I would continue coverage, and that's what I'm doing. Now into the juice. Jerome Powell, backing it down like a little punk bitch that he is. Jerome Powell gives guidance for one administration and then backs the guidance down for the other administration. I wonder if Jerome's a little bit of wishy-washy. Federal Reserve's guidance withdrawal may encourage increased BTC adoption. Here it is. Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve withdrawn. August 16th, 2022 guidance, engagement in crypto asset related activities. That's right, the Fed says, girlfriend, banks, go start buying Bitcoin. Michael Saylor highlighted the significance, stating, banks are now free to begin supporting Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, emphasizing the shift towards institutional integration. Federal Reserve's recent decision to withdraw its 2022 guidance. Oh, by the way, everything you're seeing up on the screen, it's all linked in the description down below. Prohibiting banks from engaging in crypto activities could be a game changer. That's right, because the guidance has now been yanked off the table. Historically, the Fed's guidance was seen as a significant barrier, warning all financial institutions of potential risk to both investors and the stability of the financial institutions. And basically what the Fed said was, look, if you're going to offer crypto products, you are in violation and you won't get help from us. However, the recent decision to revoke this guidance opens the gates for banks to entertain relations with cryptocurrencies. And it also gives them the opportunity to offer crypto-related products to their customers. This newfound freedom allows institutions to potentially offer products such as BTC ETFs, custody solutions, and trading services directly linked to cryptos, enhancing their competitiveness against crypto native platforms. Boom, shaka, laka. Good news from your man, the Klaus Meister. U.S. banks are free to begin supporting Bitcoin. Now, that's what Michael Saylor said. What Michael Saylor left out was banks are free to start to begin supporting crypto. Not just Bitcoin, but all crypto. See, Saylor says that because he's a maxi. I'm not a maxi. I'm a news person. I bring you news, good, bad, happy, or sad. So I wanted to make sure that you saw that it wasn't just BTC. It's all a crypto, girlfriend. All right, let's talk some RLUSD XRP ecosystem news. Then we got to talk some price news. 39 million in RLUSD burned on XRP ledger and minted on the ETH chain. All right, so basically here's what happens, okay? When Ripple does this RLUSD stuff and they mint stuff, they don't just mint it like out of thin air, right? There has to be something backing that, okay? So what happens is if they got some liquidity problems on the ETH chain, they're going to take some of it from the Ripple chain, they're going to get rid of that, and then they're going to mint it on the ETH chain. So the overall net is the same. Imagine you've got $5 in one hand, and you got $5 in the other hand. And your friend over there is like, yo, bro, I need $10. And you're like, oh shit, how do I do that? Well, that's pretty fucking easy. You take your $5 from the one hand, you take that $5, you put that $5 in the other hand, now you've got $10 in this hand, and now you can give it to your friend. That's essentially what Ripple did, moving the funds from one chain to the other. I've already seen players out there on YouTube going, oh my god, this is bad news. They burned the RLUSD on XRPL. That means they don't care about XRPL. No, they're just addressing liquidity issues. Now here's the thing. The majority of RLUSD is on the ETH chain. Players have preferred Ethereum for RLUSD usage. So what is Ripple doing? Ripple is just putting the product where players want to use it. So think of a grocery store shelf. Where do you store the best products that sell the most? At eye level, girlfriend. So what they're doing is they're taking products from the bottom shelf that ain't selling, and they're making sure that the top shelves get more space. That's what they're doing, everyone. So yeah, I just thought I would share that with you. All right, crypto market overall. Volume, we're right under $100 billion right now at $98.8 billion. Still BTC dominant at 15 out of 100. Fear and Greed Index, though, we're right now at 52, which is neutral. Very interesting to see these prices at neutral, but a lot of that has to do with BTC's climb to $94,000. In terms of institutional money, look what Big Daddy Klaus is showing you up on the screen. Oh, inflows, girlfriend. That's right. Happy Friday. I'm bringing you good news. Check this out. 4 good days in a row of institutional money. Let's zoom out and see what that looks like. Oh, okay, golf clap. Golf clap. I like this. This is what I like to see. Why? Because we had inflows, mega outflow, worst of the year, and now we're turning it right back around. Follow the institutional money to see what the big players out there are thinking. Now let's zoom into XRP specifically, where the volume right now is $3.71 billion. Yesterday I did a story about the relevance of XRP in these future contracts. And some people are like, but bro, they're settling these contracts in cash, not XRP. No shit, Sherlock. But it still keeps XRP relevant. Does it directly help out the price? No, it keeps it relevant though. Keeps you in the news, and that's half the battle when it comes to crypto. In terms of these trading pairs, oh, look at this. The Binance pair is 342 million in volume, while the Korean won pair is 229 million. So we're nowhere near the dip zone. Why? Because the Koreans only buy the dip. The USDT XRP Binance pairing, oh, they buy the tips. So we got to start paying attention to that. Overall, in terms of price action, XRP is a smidge range bound here. Let's go to that 15-minute candlestick so I can share with you exactly what I'm talking about. And that's this right here. Yeah, we kind of got rejected at the 230. We got support well above $2. So right now, my alerts are going to be pretty open this weekend because, I mean, let's be real here. What business news happens over the weekend? Well, I mean, if it does, I'll bring it to you, so hit the notification bell. But my alerts right now are going to be set at 225 on the high side and 205 on the low side. I'm going to spread my watch out just a little bit just to give us a little bit of volatility coverage right there. But right now for XRP, the big news is what, everyone? We're in the friend zone. Prices aren't high enough to sell for juicy profits, and who the hell wants to buy XRP at 218 when we know you could easily buy it for sub $2 if you set your targets right? So don't freak out when you see that 39 million in RLUSD was burned on XRPL because they took that same cashola and minted it on the ETH chain. Okay, so the Jerome Powell thing is big, right? Where they're kind of saying, yo, we're cool with y'all getting into crypto. It is big. But here's the problem. The problem is we still need the regs, though. You get what I'm saying? Here, I'll draw an analogy for you. You found a chick to do a little bit of winky wonky with. You're married, though, okay? But you found a chick. The chick is cool with you being married. The problem is you still didn't get permission from your wife. See, your wife is the regs, right? You still need permission from the wife to have the side action fund. You found the side action fund, that's the Jerome Powell news, right? You found the chick that's cool with you being married saying, yo, I'm okay with you being married with a little side action fund, but your wife, aka the regs, aren't cool with it yet. That's where we're at right now. So, let's see what happens with the regs to see if you can have a little bit of redhead side action fun. Now, that being said, how fast will we get these regs? I checked the schedule again today, and I gotta be honest with you. We're looking at May at the earliest for stablecoin regs. The big story, though, is it appears we're going to have a battle between the CFTC and the SEC on who is going to control crypto. The House of Representatives want the CFTC to control crypto, where it looks like the SEC wants to control crypto. And if those two are going to have a little battle-roni right here, that just means we're going to have delays, which means what? We're not going to have any side action. No, I'm just kidding. The problem, though, is this, is if we get stablecoin regs, but yet we have like this huge battle over who really regulates crypto, that could push stuff out for a long, long time, which would mean what? Which would mean that stablecoins could really roar, and the rest of crypto would be here going, yo, what about us? We want our fun too. But hey, we'll take what we can get. And if that means getting easy stablecoin regs right now, hell, I'm fine with that. But let's see what happens, because we could always be surprised by a really fast-moving, surprising United States government. I couldn't even get that statement out. Because the United States government isn't fast, they don't surprise us or any of that bullshit. But if something miraculously happens, I'll share it with you. Now, in terms of XRP price, look, let's be real here. A lot of support north of the $2 mark. Do we dip below $2? Yeah, of course. That allows you the opportunities to stack sub 2 and keep your averages down. Also allows you to make some juicy profit arenas on the swings, or allows you to get your long-term bags at the portions that you want. But the opportunities are there. The volatility in this market is there. The volatility will persist as long as we don't have regs and as long as we're walking back all these policies, like with Jerome Powell. But we still have to see what happens with tariffs. Will something be done with tariffs this weekend? It would be nice. Am I holding my breath? No, because I don't want to die. Okay? I don't want to hold my breath for that long. But if something happens, I'll share it with you. So happy Friday, everyone. And thank you for all the comments, because guess what? If they're hot, naughty, spicy, irrelevant, maybe I'll share it at the beginning of the next video. And thank you for sharing with me that you like sausages and that you're a chick. Choo choo bitches.